All right, everyone, it is Taco Tuesday. We already have a discount that is going to be Josh Hart over 9.5 rebounds that we're going to be using, but we are getting one for Underdog as well. And I want to go ahead and start the video out with touching on the Underdog prop bets, then I'll get into the Taco Tuesday prop bets. So for Underdog, we have these 4 discounts that are available. Showing you guys which one I view as the best. It's going to be Jalen Brunson at 33.5 because at that original line, it is the best one on paper in comparison because, well, they are bumping it now down to 27.5. Okay, so like it's the biggest difference there, about 6. So that's a big difference. Now, it was the one that was least likely to hit at its original line, 33.5, and I think that's worth pointing out that they're all favored to get the under at their original lines, but this is the biggest difference now on paper. So that's going to be the one I'm rolling with, and we are getting one very good MLB prop bet to use with that. And it's going to be a pitching prop bet. I typically like to roll with those ones the most. And so that's going to be this one, Logan Gilbert for over his pitching fantasy score here. So you're going to see that the average sportsbook line would have it at 35.5. The projection data likes it at 35. So I like that. And even PrizePicks would have it a little bit higher. So that is kind of a clear edge that we are getting. That's going to be the prop bet that I'm pairing up with the Jalen Brunson discounted square on Underdog. Now, this is probably going to be a good prop bet that we could use for Taco Tuesday as well. And so we're going to be talking about prop bets that we can go ahead and pair with this Josh Hart rebounds prop. And I think the first one would be that Logan Gilbert one. Now, if we adjust for what the PrizePicks scoring is, the Underdog line, adjusted would be 31.5 for how they're valuing it. Anyways, still going to be a decent prop bet there. One that I'm perfectly happy to run out. This one is definitely an interesting one where the projection data does not like the over for Dylan, but at the same time, based off the Underdog line, PrizePicks line, and the average sportsbook line, still a good prop bet that we are getting there. So you could potentially run that out. But the big thing with MLB today is that in terms of bets that are correlating with the projection data and the average sportsbook line, not that many great ones. The Logan Gilbert one, that's solid. Urias is okay. Diaz is okay. Sonny Gray, we're going to run out. That's a good bet. But really, that's kind of it. Like maybe Bryce Harper for over his fantasy score of 7.5. Like that's one that's decently popping up, especially compared to the Underdog line and projection. Like that's okay. Just don't exactly love those. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the WNBA today. We are getting some WNBA props, and so let's touch on that. Now, yesterday I put it out in the Discord chat, the 9-to-5 Discord chat. We were getting some big prop line differences. Points, rebounds, and assists were off by 3, which was crazy. And so maybe some edges there. Caitlin Clark right now, you could potentially run her for over 33.5 for her points, rebounds, and assists. Not a terrible one. Another one that's decent. About a 50% edge for Skylar Diggins to get over 5 assists. So I think that's one we could run out as well. I feel pretty good about that one because it should be at 5.5. Now, the projection data doesn't love it, 4.9. If anything, this one should be a push on paper. So I'm fine running that one out. So to me, we got those 2 pitching props that are going to run out. Gray, Gilbert for over their fantasy score. Skylar Diggins for over her 5 assists. And then we could also run out, we have one good fantasy score prop bet for NBA today, which is going to be Mike Conley for over his fantasy score. Then we also do have Andrew Nembhard for under his fantasy score. And let's take a peek at those 2. So Andrew Nembhard, definitely been very close to getting the over in every single game thus far this series, but it's been a very consistent line. So if the data's telling me, all right, the Knicks are coming in off of a game where they got blown out and maybe someone like Andrew Nembhard doesn't show up because the Knicks defense does much better, I can get behind that. So I'm kind of okay with that one. And then Mike Conley as well, I'm going to be okay running the over. This line hasn't really changed, even though he has been, consistently averaging over that. And that's a little bit due to him just getting more minutes. So I'm happy to run that one out there as well. So we are getting 5 good prop bets to go ahead and pair with the first taco. So let's go ahead and give you guys that bet slip. Do want to call it PGA-wise, no big discrepancies as well so far in terms of the prop bets that we should be running out. This could change. If you guys were trying to make a bet, the one that I would like the most would actually be Cameron Smith for under 70 strokes. That's 1 under par, okay? And he is, a very good golfer in the field this week. He probably ranks, he does rank out a little bit better than John Rahm, who's at 69. So just worth calling that out. I think that's a decent edge that we are getting this week. But don't need to force that with this slip. Sorry to give you guys the Underdog bet of the day that we're going to be running out. Kind of double dipping with Logan Gilbert. Again, better line on Underdog there. We saw that. So slightly bigger edge there. Sonny Gray going to be a good pitching fantasy score prop bet, and then just rolling with the other 2 fantasy score prop bets that we have today on NBA. Those are looking pretty good. Really, I do see this as like 3 for 5. This does not feel like the Friday. Yesterday, 0 for 2 on the only 2 really good prop bets that we had. Kind of feel like this is going to go 3 for 5, honestly. It really tough to gauge. I just don't love these. At the same time, I don't hate them. The Logan Gilbert one, obviously, we're expecting to hit. Sonny Gray, don't exactly love the match, but at the same time, not terrible as well. So should be able to get there. Again, we're going to be pairing these up 5 times individually with the taco, with all the tacos, but with the morning taco as it sits right now. That's going to be all for today's video, though. If you guys want access to the tools that you saw in this video, check it out. Obviously, just added in the WNBA tool, always adding in stuff here for you guys to make it the best value possible for just $10 a month. Can't beat that. And also have the fantasy golf tools available included in that. So check it out. Thanks for watching. Good luck today. And as always, let's keep cashing.